Hello and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News channel. This is the TAFA chart analysis for December 30th, 2021. We are getting close to 2022, folks. Bust out the champagne. We're going into the year. And yes, this year is worth celebrating because Bitcoin has pretty much doubled this year. So that's why we would celebrate. Anyways, looking at the chart right here, it looks like we came off yesterday's bottom by a couple hundred points. And we are actually up 1.06%, or roughly about $470 since yesterday. If that is indeed the bounce, that's good news, because that means this bottom is actually slightly higher than the last bottom at around 45,900, which means the last bottom may have been the last absolute bottom. I still think there is a chance that we will dump to 43, although not very high. We have yet to see if this is like the final bottom, or if there's going to be a double dip and another bottom right here. We will just have to wait and see on that. But right now, it looks pretty promising, and I think odds are that the bottom a couple weeks ago at 45.9 or 45.8 was probably the lowest, and now we're going to go up. I can see green candles after the new year as things stop shuffling around and people come in, and as the volume picks back up. I do think there's a lot of developments in the year, including new crypto bills that could actually handcuff the SEC in the way they actually regulate things. So that's what I'm actually looking at right now. So right now, to me at least, it looks like 45,900 was the bottom. There is a chance we dump to 43, but I don't know how high that chance is right now. But right now, the graph is actually looking pretty positive compared to like this lull we had about 6 months ago. I think our lull right now is going to be much, much shorter. And I think lower lows and hopefully a higher high as well. In terms of oscillators, the oscillators on the daily are pretty much neutral. RSI of 40, stochastic of 21 is getting very near to oversold. Commodity channel index, neutral. Average directional index is slightly higher on the daily than before, but still not very high. Awesome oscillator did not cross zero, so there's nothing to actually be said there. So everything is essentially neutral when it comes to oscillators. The moving averages are still heavy sell. The EMA for the 10 is 48,000. We're still at 47,000. That won't change unless we get, like, these numbers generally won't change unless we get to around 50,000. That's where the tipping point is, 49 to 50,000. If we can close this month and this year above 50,000, that's very, very bullish. But even if we don't, I think we'll soon get above 50,000 for after the holiday. However, like, that would be a big psychological boost that if we can actually end the year above 50K, because that would actually make all the EMAs go positive and have a sell signal again. Right now you can still tell that it's all sell pretty much all the way down to the 200 EMA. But if it was 50,000, it would basically be all buy except for the 50 and the 100. So that would mean if we were for above 50,000, like 10, 20, 30, and 200 would be buy, and that would give us a very, very strong signal into the new year. So that could be fairly important psychologically that we actually get above 50,000 before the new year, at least for the daily indicators. If you talk about the weekly indicator, everything is still neutral. The average directional index here is important because it's very weak, no trend whatsoever, and the rest of these signals are neutral. So right now, I would say definitely neutral on the oscillators on the weekly. If you look at the 10, 20, 30 on the EMAs and the SMAs, they are all sell right now on the weekly. So the rest of this week seems to be a sell, but I'm going to say it's hold at this point because the movement the last couple of days is not going to be huge. The futures does expire in a couple of hours, so we might see one last small bump. Hopefully it can get us above 50K, and that would be really great for tomorrow. So I'm hoping that we end the year above 50K. But realistically, it's kind of just a hold for me right now. It's not really a buy or a sell for me at this point. According to the technicals, however, 10, 20, 30 are sell, then 50, 100, 200 are obviously buy, but you're going more than a year back there. So it's obviously going to be buy on the 50 and 100 weeks. So yes, the exponential moving average, the EMA is actually pretty strong in terms of sell because 51, 55. To get the EMA on 10 weeks to be buy, we have to get above 53K, but I would be happy enough for us to get above 50K. If we get above 50K, the daily would actually be buy, the weekly would be sell, but I think the weekly would turn pretty fast if we get above 50K. In terms of the 1 month, as always, it's buy. We're still above the 10-month EMA, obviously above the 20, 30, 40, 50-month EMA. The oscillators are all neutral. The average directional index is not very strong for the yearly, for the monthly at 46. Stochastic is getting near oversold, but doesn't really matter all that much. RSI is neutral. So pretty much everything is neutral on the oscillators. And as always, we have a very strong buy on the monthly, on the moving averages. But the thing is, I only look at the 10-month moving average, so it's like a cut between buy and sell. I still think like if you really, really want to play it, like buy a little bit right now because the futures expire in a couple hours and it might go up after that, or just buy a couple of days after the new year. Right now, I'm just holding, maybe like shuffling a couple of my stakings around, but I'm mainly just holding at this point. As for the fundamental stuff, Bitcoin continues to make inroads. Like I mentioned on a couple of videos ago, they are making a mobile Bitcoin game, and it's going to be like Candy Crush. And these kind of casual games appeal to a lot more people than hardcore RPG games, so that could actually bring a lot more people into Bitcoin. Regulations continues to improve in the United States as Congress is going to push for more laws. Otherwise, everything seems to be moving forward okay. There's not any huge movements in the market today. And I do believe like the overall economy is much, much stronger than people think it is due to the strong holiday season we had and the massive amounts of gift cards that people bought, 43% more than last year. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think, like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button, and I will see you guys next time.